Okay, great. And I'm going to go ahead and share my slides. And yay. Okay, great. Hopefully everybody can see that. So welcome to the Choose Your Course Idea workshop. I really want to, like I said, make this a workshop. Okay, let me make sure I can do what I'm doing here. Can I? Okay, good. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's nice to see you guys. It's very distracting too, though. So I was going to try to pop on this thing down over here, but I don't think it'll let me. Okay. If you guys don't know me, I am Donna Ashton, and actually I'm going to do this. I hope. There we go. So I don't have to be. Oh, here we go. Let me see if I can. Perfect. All right. I am Donna Ashton, author, speaker, online business owner. Since 2009, and I've created over $400,000 in passive income from online courses, and really here to talk to you today about, creating your idea for your course and creating courses and how they can revolutionize your business. Okay, great. So I'm so glad you guys have joined me. This is really not just a webinar. I didn't want to just have another webinar, but I really wanted to have a working workshop that we can really dig in and get some things done. So the goal of today is to really work on your course topic and your course outcome, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. But first, I want to just pop in with a couple huge benefits on launching an online course. So if you're here, I'm assuming you're interested, or you want to do it, or maybe you've started to do it. So the first thing, of course, is passive income. And not just passive income, but recurring income, consistent income, and really stopping that dollars for hours cycle. So if you're already doing some coaching and you have a lot of clients, it can get really busy, and you can be, on the phone and just tied to your office a lot. And so having that online course can really give you some time off, can make you, allow you to take maybe one less client this month or two less clients, and have a little more free time. Impact lives. I know this is when I speak to people about why they want to create a course, this is probably, this is tied for first place with the passive income, is really impacting lives, because I'm working with a lot of authors and healers and entrepreneurs who are here they have a big mission, and they're here to really make impact in the world. And I know just from experience how big it can really go if you have an online course. Like I said, I've enrolled over 6,000, it's probably more like 7,000 by now, people into my online courses, and I would never have been able to coach 7,000 people one-to-one, right? So I'm able to touch people's lives all over the world and really make an impact in the transformation. Visibility. Another really interesting piece is you'll be a lot more visible. It sort of puts you up into this expert status and gets you out there. It's getting busier and busier out there online these days, and it's getting harder to get noticed. But if you're launching an online course, it really elevates you and makes you visible in the online market. And one of my favorite benefits is the leveraging time, which I talked a little bit. It's really connected to the passive income because it gives you time to take time off. It gives you the opportunity to maybe only work 3 days a week instead of 5 days a week, right? If you've got that leveraged income coming in, and you don't have to be the one to teach it every single time, right? It can just be done automatically. Then that's taking you out of the equation and having videos or audios or your training lessons substitute. And we know that, it's just as good coming from us on a video as it is coming from us in person. So there's 4 benefits. So I don't know if you guys, I'm assuming that most of you have seen or taken an online course before. And if you're here, you probably have thought about adding a course to your business, or you wouldn't be like taking this workshop. So we're going to move forward into really jumping right into the learning. Maybe you started a course and haven't finished it. I find that a lot of people have like halfway done something. So whether you've half started something, even if you've never started something, that's fine. Or if you have a book, an ebook, a whole bunch of blog posts or some videos or recordings or presentations sitting around, a lot of that can be compiled into the foundation for your course. So if you have some of that, or if you've been coaching people and already are seeing some results, you're taking them through some kind of a system or a process, then you're really primed to have an online course. And the online course industry is just growing like crazy. And I don't see any stop for it, because it's so much easier to just sit at home and from the comfort of your home and take some online classes. I don't think it's a substitute for like a real workshop, because there's something about the synergy and being in the same room with other people, but that's not always, we're not always able to travel, or, people are not always able to attend for whatever reason, whether it's family or their job, or just it's too far away. So having the online trainings is the next best thing to being in person. So today we're going to dig right in with our course topic, and we're going to start. It is really like step zero really step zero to step one of creating your course. And we're also going to talk a little bit about course outcome, which is really tied into the topic. So let's dig in. If you already have something in mind, or already are like, okay, I have an idea in mind, I'd love to hear from you in the chat what you think your topic's going to be or what it might be. And you can certainly tweak it and hone in on it as we go through today's workshop. So if you have something in mind over there, pop it on over, and let me see if I can get into the chat without too much trouble. Maybe. No. Okay. Well, let's turn over to, you can go ahead, you guys can pop it, and I'm going to come on over there in just a minute. I want you to pull out your worksheets, and we're going to start with worksheet number 1, the very first page, which is really finding your brilliance. So you may already know this, but let's just kind of go through this, because I think sometimes you may have an idea of what you think your topic's going to be, but that doesn't mean that that will end up being the topic, if that makes any sense after we go through. Because even those who come with me who are authors and they're like, yes, I already have my nonfiction book and I'm ready to turn it into a course, many times I will say, okay, well, is it going to be your entire book? Is it going to be just one chapter? And they're like, oh, okay, I don't know. Let me see. What do we want to do? So sometimes their book is a story with a little bit of help on the end, and then we want to dig deeper. So we're going to go through these steps here. And I'm going to pop on back over. So I'm going to stop my screen share. I wish I could just leave this, but I don't think I can. No, I don't want to go on to that. So let me see. Oh, here we go. Maybe I can do it like this. No, I don't think so. I'm going to stop sharing, come back over here so that you can, and I'll start my camera back up. Okay, cool. All right, let's see. I just want to see. Okay, great. Liz says, I have 2 ideas. One is to make 2.5-day abundance breakthrough course. Okay, and into an online course. And another is a 6-lesson ukulele course. Yes, I know your ukulele teaching is very handy. Okay, cool. So if you're like, I don't really know, then we're gonna kind of go through that. So if you have 2 ideas, then you can use this for both. If you're not sure where to go or where to even start, this is what we're gonna walk through this. So the first question I have on here is, how do you want to impact the world, right? What do you want to do? Like, what is your big mission? So how do you want to impact the world? So maybe you are a healer and you're looking to, help people with mindset or with their body, or maybe a nutritionist and you want to help people, eat clean, and maybe you're a musician and you want to help spread joy through the world through music. Okay, let's see. Dominique says, guiding parents through reconnecting to their spiritual life and also finding and honoring their life purpose. Okay, great. So you might have an idea. So what is, really your legacy, or what are you hoping to kind of leave behind? it's sort of your, less about the topic, but it is sort of coming from that place of what is your, you know, passion, and what is that thing that lights you up. And that's why I call it your brilliance. It's like, what are you really good at doing, or what are you really looking to do in the world? And that kind of leads into the next sentence, to the next question, which is, what do you already know a lot about, or are passionate about, or are ready to teach? So this may be something, you know, it's not like, okay, now I have to go and study for 2 years and get a degree in order to do this. We're looking today for something that you already know how to do. You're already, you know, you could turn around tomorrow and start teaching. So, you know, you can just make some notes here on your worksheets. You know, what are you passionate about? What do you know a lot about? What are you ready to teach? And you can feel free to pop over there in the chat. And if you're already in business, or if you are, maybe you're not actually getting paid. And I find a lot of people who are just getting started haven't actually, you know, maybe they haven't officially launched their business, but they're doing this with their friends and their family. And maybe you're, you know, helping already in some way, and you're doing this over and over. People are calling you, hey, I need some help with my relationship, or, you know, whatever. And you're the one they call, and you're the one who helps in the family. So, or if you are coaching already, you know, what is that thing that people are asking for all the time? Or what do you keep teaching? It's like, maybe this is the first step. And you're like, okay, before we start with my ukulele lessons, you have to learn about the parts of the ukulele. Or just making something up, Liz. Whatever, you know, there's sort of that, what are you teaching over and over again? Or what is too much content, not sure how to winnow it down. Yeah, that's why we're gonna go through this for sure, Liz. And Dominique, let's see, guiding parents through reconnecting to their spiritual life, and also finding and honoring their purpose. So that may be 2 different things. So let's kind of look at that, because guiding them to reconnect to their spiritual life, that sounds like a really big topic already. And finding and honoring their life purpose, maybe that is part of it. Maybe that's like part A, and then there's a part B to it. First they connect, and then they can move on, or, you know, whatever. So let's see, I'm writing a book, Confidence After Bullying. Oh, great. From Tammy. And I want a course about being confident, overcoming the effects of bullying, not sure which direction to go in. Okay, great. Well, good. So that's great. So I'm assuming that maybe you've had some experience with being bullied, or with your family being bullied. So your passion is to stop that happening for others, right? So, and how to overcome, and how to be confident, and how to kind of put that behind it and move forward. So if you're already, you know, experiencing this, whether you've actually started teaching it or not, that's the passionate thing that you have. So, okay, let us go on to the next page. So you can fill this out. I don't want to go too fast or too slow. You guys tell me if I need to slow down, but I just want to make sure I get through everything. And I'm kind of thinking you already have that part. So this is the hardest part, you know, when you kind of go to the next part, is this is understanding your clients and really honing in on your topic. Because everything you guys are telling me here, these are some big, they could be some really big topics. You know, bullying is a big topic. And so what are you going to teach when it comes to that? So let's look. And sometimes what you think you need to be teaching is not exactly what your people want. So that's why we're doing this part. And I have this with every one of my clients that I work with, we do this part. So what are your clients' greatest challenges? So you may or may not know this, but let's just do the best guessing that we can right now. If you've been working with clients already, you can kind of look and say, okay, what is it that they're challenged with? Or if you're not working yet, or haven't launched your official business, or working with clients, people probably are maybe already coming to you, or in your own situation. If you've gone through this before, you can be like, okay, what was the biggest challenge for me with being bullied? Was it just fear of going in a, you know, out, or I don't know, I'm just making something up. What is maybe the greatest, and there could be several challenges, so you can list them out. what are the greatest challenges that your client has with this topic that you're looking at? And like Liz, if you're doing two different ones, then you can kind of just draw a line down the middle and kind of do one for one and one for the other and kind of go through it. So let's see, what else do we have? So if it was for Dominique, so maybe guiding parents to reconnect to their spiritual life. So maybe they're so busy and life gets so crazy that they forget to meditate, or they don't have any time to spend to honor this part of themselves, or the kids are always interrupting. I'm just making things up here. I don't really know, but I'm just as a mom who's tried to do this in the past. So, try to get into that person's head and really see what it is that is their greatest challenge. And again, this is you just sort of kind of looking out, going, this is what I think their greatest challenges are, getting started with this. And it kind of flows into the next one, which is, what do they keep asking for? So if people are coming to you, what do they say when they call you or email you or whatever? Really think about it in their words. What are they asking for? Because I find many times my clients are, way down the block, maybe way out in the ocean with this topic. And you got to remember that your people are just on the shore, just barely putting their toes in the water. So it's hard sometimes for us to go back. So think back, if you've had people call you or email you, what are they really looking for? I know that I've had some people who are like life coaches, and I've gone through this process with them, and they've been like, my clients just need to get clarity. They need to get clarity because they don't know what their next step is. And I'm like, okay, and that's probably really true. But are your clients sitting at home going, oh, if only I had some clarity? Probably not, depending on what it is. If it's like a life coach for professionals, maybe they're like, I need more clients. Or if it's like, I don't know what to do with the rest of my life. They're not sitting home going, if only I had clarity. That's your words and that's your coaching words. But we want to dig into what they're thinking as much as possible. Let's see. Can I ask a background question? What are the most effective types of online courses? In other words, what are people looking for? I'm not sure what that means, Liz. Can you be a little more specific with that one? Yeah, let's unmute you. Go ahead. Hey.
Thanks. Hi. It's just a little easier to ask it this way.
Yes.
So, as you're speaking, it is, I think the part about, are they sitting at home saying, I want clarity, versus, they don't have a vision, whatever. So the ukulele thing, it's just kind of a fun idea I have. Obviously, people want to learn how to play, and I could tell them how to play. So that's not an issue. The other work that I do around abundance, so I have this 2.5-day abundance breakthrough course, which obviously has curriculum to it. And I could just recreate that as an online course, but I'm wondering why someone would buy that. In other words, then I'm thinking, so my target market is entrepreneurs, especially like emerging entrepreneurs. So that makes me think I should be doing an online course like how to get started as an entrepreneur, and, for ways to be the most effective entrepreneur. And that's when I kind of throw up my hands and go, I don't know what people
kind of go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. So
well, what you mean, your brilliance is about abundance. Is that right? I mean, the bottom line?
The bottom line, the brilliance is about abundance, yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think that's an excellent thing. And people are very aware of the word abundance now. It's become really more even mainstream, right? Abundance means money, right? It doesn't necessarily mean money, but if you're talking about entrepreneurs, then usually you're thinking about money. It could be love, or it could be just, whatever, a lot of things in your life. But if you're gearing it toward entrepreneurs, then I'm assuming. So so it's an easy thing for a lot, many entrepreneurs are sitting around going, I don't have enough money to run my business. I don't have enough money coming in, enough clients coming in. So it
Yeah.
depends. I mean, if you're going to go into what is the solution here? That's their greatest challenge, right? They need more money. That's the bottom line, right?
Yeah, they need to know how to be able to create more money, more clients,
Okay.
because that's really what I'm teaching is really like harnessing your power to do that.
Right. You're not like, here I am as a business coach showing you how to run your business, though you probably could. This is
Right.
this is sort of the mindset of abundance, I'm assuming.
Yes, it's a mindset about abundance. That's right.
Okay. Yeah. So your teachings, it's just a little bit of a shift over. So their questions they still have the greatest challenges, is about money. And so they have to decide whether, where are they in the process? Do they already have things in place that they're running their business and it should be going okay, but they're coming up against these money blocks? Or are they like a brand new entrepreneur that doesn't have a clue what they're doing and they need some business training? So you're going to have to weed out.
Right.
You're not, unless you're going into business training, which I don't think you want to do.
No.
You're at a
No.
different place. So you're not really, you may not really be teaching the basic steps, because they can still use what you're giving them, of course, and they may still need that because everybody has money issues, right? So, but it's two separate things. They need the business training on, what do I do? How do I even set up my business? That's a whole different thing versus what you're teaching, which is like, okay, just because you have the things in place doesn't mean you're going to be successful, and you could be sabotaging yourself. And I've gone through this myself, so I know what you mean. So it's like, okay, yes, everything should be working, but it's not. So what is happening? I think maybe that's, if you're looking, I know we're not going to go through target market, but it's kind of sounds like that's where you need to be flowing, where they are going along and they're doing all right, but they want to do a lot better.
Yes.
And yours is about the mindset versus the actual, here's how you create your business and, get clients.
Right. I'm not showing you how to do your business plan.
It's not practical business stuff, but it's how to,
right.
You still are maybe helping them attract clients and helping them attract the right people and mentors or whatever it is into their business. But it's more of it's like that mindset kind of issue versus the practical nuts and bolts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Does that help you?
Okay. Well, that's helpful. Yeah. Because what I'm hearing you say is that the content can be whatever the content is, and then it's how I position it to people. So
yes,
that clarifies.
Yeah, it's more of marketing and who your target market's going to be for. But your brilliance is your brilliance, and you already have all of that. So you don't want to adjust it to fit. You want to find the right people to come in, and that's a really good question. So you guys who are kind of listening, we're not going to get too much into target market, but it does really depend. You want to find the right people. If you're marketing to everyone or to the wrong people, they're not going to get what you're selling and what you're trying to bring, because they're not at the place that they need that yet, or they're just, or they're too far beyond it, or whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, great. So let's go on to, if anybody else has questions, please, I can unmute you over here, and hopefully you guys are learning as we kind of go along. So the other question on this page is, why do they need this? So as what are they keep asking for, but why do they really need this? So in the case of Liz, they need more money in their business to support themselves, to keep growing their business, and reinvesting in their business. Why do they need this abundance? So they're not freaking out every night and stressed, like, oh my gosh, I can't pay the bills this month. And, so you can write down some of the reasons why your clients need the work that you're going to bring, that you're bringing to them. For Dominique, why do they need to connect to their, reconnect into their spiritual lives? And, so they can listen and not be doing all the time, or whatever, it is. So they have that quiet and can listen to their higher source, or, get plugged back in and start getting some ideas that maybe just aren't coming from their head, but are coming from, a place that they never thought of, things they never thought of before. So whatever it is, about the bullying. So it could be, why do they need this? So they're not scared. and they don't, aren't sitting in a corner and afraid to speak out, or, whatever those reasons are, why do they really need your work? So you may already know this, but it's nice to kind of highlight it and kind of really look at it, because, from a value standpoint, take a look at this, because this kind of flows into when I start talking about pricing your course. And that's a really big issue that most people that come to me, they really low ball themselves and are charging way less than what they really need to be charging for the transformation that they're giving. I mean, look at the amazing results and things that you guys who are on this call are bringing, making more money in their business, connecting to their, higher source, so they know their life purpose, working with bullying. I mean, those are big transformations, and they aren't just, how to trim your rose bush or something. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my roses on my table here, but they're really huge, missions that you guys have, and so they're worth a lot. And I just want you to I just want you to see that, because then when we, later when you move into pricing, you can say, hey, that yes, this is really important stuff that I'm doing, and it's really worth the transformation. So let's pop on over, because the time's flying by. Next page, it says research. Is there another course like yours out there? Because we're online right now, I want you guys, we're going to do some exercises. You may already know there is or there isn't, but if you haven't already looked, you can kind of do this while you're watching here. I want you to see if there is another course similar to what you already do, are trying to create here. So there's another question from Tammy. I just had a thought about bullying. To have this course be for the parents of kids who are being bullied, what should parents say and ask their kids, and what not to say? Things they can do. Yeah, I mean, definitely, Tammy, when you start talking about targeting, the kids are not buying the course. So you really need to market to the person who's purchasing. But that doesn't mean it can't be something for the whole family, and it probably should be. I don't know anything about bullying, and I'm sorry, I don't have any experience with that, but I'm assuming it's something that affects not only the child but the parents. So it's sort of a family thing. But yes, depending on the age that you're targeting, if it's for young kids, then obviously, then yes, that would go to the parents, unless you're doing teens or something. And then there may be something that they could do or watch in that for themselves. But I think if it's for a young child, then yes, that would have to go to the parents. Okay, absolutely, good. Yeah, so what are the parents thinking? What are the parents, and I can only imagine, and thank gosh I haven't had to deal with this, but I can only imagine what it must be like, that mama bear is already coming out of me and I haven't even had it happen. How you must feel so, helpless and mad and whatever. So, and what you want, what can I do? And I need some, practical things, and how I can help and work with my child, and maybe my community, or, the school, or, even ways to that. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent a little bit there, but yes, I would definitely direct it more to the parent, because the child is not going to be able to do this for themselves. Okay, so do you guys know if there's another bullying course out there, or another course? I'm sure there's an abundance course out there for entrepreneurs. So, and I think just about everything that you guys have named, there probably is. And if there's anybody new who wants to pop into the chat with what they have an idea for, please feel free if you want. Where do we look for courses? Well, you can just Google. I mean, that's the best thing. I would just Google, online courses for bullying, or how to stop bullying courses or trainings or something like that, and just see what's out there. So I don't want you to despair, because I think a lot of people are like, oh, forget it. I can't do this now. It's already done. I remember the time where I just got my course business up and running, probably 3 or 4 months. So this is about 2 years ago. And I was so excited, and I was working on the whole, I was really just getting the foundation in place. And I remember Amy Porterfield came out with her, how to create online courses. And I can't remember the name of the actual course. And I was like, ugh, I might as well just hang it up. and I was so like distraught, even though I knew there were other people or whatever. I was just like, oh, I've missed the boat. It's too late. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. I mean, there are so many people out there in the world, and everyone teaches what they know, because and everybody has their own experiences. And so the way I teach my online course, I know because I've looked at her stuff, and it's totally different. I mean, not totally, but it's a lot different than the way I teach creating a course. So I'm like, okay, I have my way, and this is the way I do it. This is the way I've done it, for myself, and this is the way I've helped other people do it. This is the way I know, so that's the way I'm going to teach. So the good news is if you find another course out there, yay, that means there's a market. And especially if you find someone who's very successful, and if you know them, like Amy Porterfield, and I know that she wouldn't be doing a course if it wasn't a good market out there that you could keep going and create a whole business around it. So if there is one, congratulations. If there isn't one, that doesn't necessarily mean there isn't a market for it, but I would really want you to do some research, because sometimes we have something that we want to teach, and for whatever reason, the market doesn't want it or won't pay for it. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't want it, but that they won't pay for it. And I've had this happen to me a couple times in my homeschool coaching business, where I created something they said they wanted, yet they wouldn't part with the money. They just assumed that it should be something they already know, and they didn't want to pay for it. So I had to kind of rework the whole thing and put it up under inside of another course, because it was a piece they really did need, but they didn't want to use their homeschool budget on that. So the bottom line is, if there's other courses out there, and I think you guys are all good, that's good news. Now you can take a look at their course. I don't want you to be like, oh, their course looks great. I mean, you can take a look at it. I remember when hers came out, I didn't want to be influenced at all by what I was doing versus what Amy Porterfield was doing. But I remember watching her webinar after a while, and I thought, okay, it sort of validated what I already had done myself. And I was like, okay, good. I know I'm on the right track here. So you could do something similar and take a look at what someone else is doing. I mean, you can look at their marketing and see, who they're marketing to, and if they're, the challenges that they're talking about fit with you, but you might have a different market. Like I'm concentrating a lot now on authors who want to take their books, or content creators who want to take their content and create and move them into a course. So I'm not just out there talking to every entrepreneur. I am sort of specializing. I still do have other people come to me, but I am specializing as it's the same process, but I'm really marketing to a specific niche to try to, put myself out there. Sorry, and I'm doing a little more about marketing here, but what I'm saying is you might have a little bit different challenges based on who your market is. So if I'm talking with authors, then it may be, I'm not making enough money for my book. I want visibility for my book and that kind of a thing, versus just an entrepreneur who's trying to, create a course. So yeah, take a look at the other courses and, as a kind of a springboard, but I don't want you to compare. And just because they're charging $97 for their course or $997 for their course shouldn't affect your pricing and everything, because there's a whole formula that we go through in my step-by-step process on how to, talk about pricing and that kind of a thing. So, but it'll just give you a place to start and know that the market is out there and will, and you can sell your courses because somebody's already doing it. So the market will pay. Aren't there sites that have online courses like a catalog, and what are some of those sites? Well, you can go to like Udemy. I'm not really particularly happy with that as far as like selling. I'm going to put it in the online chat. As far as selling courses I wouldn't do that myself, but you can go and look, but they're very low priced courses. And so I don't recommend doing that. And I would rather have you build your own platform at your own website than on someone else's site. And those are more like little mini courses, but you can look there, of course. Yes, you can check it out and see if there's any, courses that are being sold on a site like Udemy. I can't remember what the other one's called. There's a couple of them now that have popped up. There's so many coming on. Yes, I recommend setting whether it's on your own website or in your own platform or portal. I do not recommend selling it on Udemy. But like if you use Teachable or Thinkific or one of those, and we're not going to get into like platforms today, but using one of those that has your own website attached to it or your own URL, because that builds your own platform and traffic coming versus going to one of those other platforms. Yes. Okay, so you can keep doing some research and checking out there. This is sort of an ongoing thing, but I really want you to, let's go into the course outcome. So this might seem really similar to the topic, and this can really, this is the piece that a lot of people really have a trouble with, and we don't have a ton of time, but I'm going to go through a little bit of it. What will your student get from taking your course? So let's just say we're talking about the bullying course, and it's the parents that you're marketing to. What will these parents of a bullied child get when they take your course? So think about this. So it shouldn't be a big, long thing. You can write down a bunch of things right now. And that's why I have 2 places on the worksheet. And then underneath I say rewrite your course outcome in 1 to 2 sentences. So like for my course that I have, I say you'll be able to create and launch your profitable online course. If you take my program and go through it, then you are going to be able to have your course. The bottom line is you'll have a course done. So it should be something, it may not be as easy as that, but it should be pretty 1 or 2 lines. Like you can say, I will give you the tools and steps to help your family overcome bullying. It could be just something like that. It doesn't have to be real complicated, but this is your bottom line. What are you going to provide? So this really helps when you start building your course, because otherwise we start to do the kitchen sink syndrome. And like Liz, you might start talking about building a business, not that you would, but you might start throwing a whole bunch of other stuff. And we know a lot, and if you've been doing this work for a while, then you have a lot of knowledge. So just like, for instance, for me, I could show you how to create an online business. I could show you how to do Facebook ads. I could show you how to create a telesummit, a live event. I have webinars, teleseminars. I have so many things I could show you how to do. Create your course, launch your course, market your course, do email marketing. So I could do this, there's a ton of things I could show you how to do because I've been doing it for 8 years. But I'm honing in and going, okay, I'm going to give you just what you need to create that course. So I might have a separate course that's all about doing launching of your course and JV marketing and webinars. That is a separate course. It's not included in mine because that's a totally different topic and it's a really big piece over here. So I don't want to overwhelm people unless you're giving the whole shebang. And if your whole course is, maybe it's a big, huge thing that's all about how to, design your course, launch your course, create passive income from your course, market your course, whatever. If it's all of it, it's going to be expensive, but then I'm going to give everything like that. So there's no rules here except for you want to give everything that you need to give to get your people, to get your students to that outcome. So if you're promising how to do a Facebook ad, then you're going to give them every step they need to create a Facebook ad. It's not going to be about how to do business on Facebook or Facebook Lives or Facebook Messenger, but it's just going to be on Facebook ads. So I hope that helps with that. So this is a work in progress, and it sounds easier than it is when you really try to write it out. Let me know if you guys are having trouble or need some help with the outcome. And I'd love to hear some of your outcomes if you want to pop it in the chat. And this can take a little while. I know I work with my clients, for several hours sometimes to really get the bottom line, especially when it's not such a cut and dry topic. Like Dominique, maybe for you, it's like, what do I really teach about connecting to spirit and, you know, getting their life purpose? You know, it's not as nuts and bolts or whatever as how to train your dog in 2 weeks to, you know, how to housebreak your dog in 2 weeks. You know, that's pretty cut and dry. So when it's more about confidence or stepping into your life purpose, it can be a little more fluid. And so you have to decide, and again, based on, and we're going to move into this a little bit more on the very next page, based on the challenges that they're having, you're going to create the solution in your course, right? That's what we're really looking here to do, is that's why we're trying to highlight what their greatest challenges are. Because you could teach many things about your topic, but you want to teach the most important thing that they need right now. Even if they don't know that there's 5 steps behind it, you want to give them that first part and then lead them through the rest. They don't know what they don't know. They don't know that they need the clarity and they need the confidence or they need the whatever. They just know they want to get this thing fixed. So you're going to market to their problems and then give them the solution behind it. So it's sort of like marketing to what they want and giving them what they need. You're going to give them what they want and what they need, because probably they don't know what they need, or they would have already fixed it, or they would have been taking steps to fix it. They just don't even know where to go. Okay, let's see. Dominique says, thanks, Don. Earlier in talk, I realized I could teach parents how to come into balance, harmony, and slow down. I could teach that right now. The problems I hear most parents are too busy and conflict in relationships. Right, exactly. Like I was saying, they can't slow down. It's hard to find 10 minutes or 20 minutes to meditate or to really tap in. And by the time they can do it, they're exhausted and they fall asleep or something in the middle of it, right? So great. I'm glad you're getting a little clarity around the topics here. So you can keep going with this on these, the worksheets here. I've got, you know, what will your student get from taking your course, and then rewrite your outcome in 1 to 2 sentences. This is a really big piece because I want you to build a course around what people are, you know, one, around the outcome, so that you don't get done making a course and go, well, I thought this was a course about Facebook ad, but it looks more like it's how to use Facebook in my business, you know? So that makes me think I shouldn't mention life purpose or spiritual life. Well, like you said, Dominique, it may be that your process or your method of helping these moms and dads slow down and come into harmony is through connecting to spiritual life. So, or finding their life purpose. But what they're really looking for is that balance and harmony. So your course may be something, and I'm just kind of throwing this out because I don't know that much about what you're doing, but it might be how to, you know, stop the crazy life and come into harmony, you know, in your home. It's a terrible title, but something like that. You know, how to create harmony and peace in your home, because if that's what they're asking for, now through that you'll show them the different steps that you can take to get there. And it may be that they, you know, change their way of parenting a little, or their communication, and it may be that they're going to meditate and they're going to ground themselves so that they can be more, you know, less frazzled or whatever. So you're going to take them through the steps, but the bottom line is they're not sitting at home going, oh, I just want to be connected. I mean, maybe they are, but most likely they're like, I just want peace and harmony in my home. If that's what it is, then that's going to be what you're going to bring them. And then you take them through the steps that gets them there. All right. Tammy says, parents will learn the steps they can take to help their child overcome the effects of bullying, including how to know if your child is being bullied, the signs, what to say. Well, she's got it all, you know, this is from your book, Tammy. What to say and not to say, rebuild the confidence, when to intervene with teachers, counselors, or the police. Okay, excellent, great. So how help their child overcome the effects of bullying. So that's basically the outcome. That's the outcome, is how to help their child overcome the effects of bullying. Perfect. And that includes a whole lot. And you've got it listed out, right? And you'll take them through the steps there. So that's excellent. Great. Oh, somebody's muted and hasn't muted them. I'm going to mute you. There we go. All right, perfect. Okay, so you guys keep working on the outcomes, but you can see the bottom line is that they want to be, that, you know, they need this one little piece, and then all of your steps and your process will get them there. But you want to know where you're going. You need the destination. You need to know, okay, I'm going to help them overcome the effects of bullying. Now, how do I do that, right? All right, I'm going to keep you guys muted because I keep getting some background noise. Okay, great. Liz says, I wrote outcome, how to create abundance with ease and grace so that you can live an authentic life and express your unique creativity. But I feel like that's super broad. How to create abundance with ease and grace so that you can live authentic life and express your unique creativity. Yeah, I mean, again, the bottom line is, you know, I don't know. Again, and it may go back to what they really want. Are they entrepreneurs? If they are, you know, how to create, is it money? It's saying, you can still say abundance in their business. How to create abundance in their business, you know, so they can live authentically. The so that can is fine, and that's the benefits of it. But the bottom line is they're trying to really make more money in the business. As long as you know that, and you're, you know, that's not like you have to, this is just for you to know where you're going. The bottom line is they're really looking to make more money. Okay, Debbie says, our program is teaching kids 3 to age 10 how to be smart with money. Ooh, with interactive theater. Our challenge is that the parents have their own phobias and bane around money. Okay, right. We hear that our program is great fun and designed by a CPA and children's theater, but no one is signing up for the paid course. Okay, yes. Well, first, Debbie, I would say, have you looked to see if there are any other courses like that? Because it could be one of those things that the parents are like, do I really need to teach my 3-year-old how to handle money? I mean, I love the idea of kind of getting that in there, but is it going to be really worth it to them to part with the money for that? But you know, but sorry. Is it better to move them into, you know, can you, I'm sorry, I keep getting Lakia, can you make sure to keep yourself muted? I keep going off mute, and I'm sorry, it's quite loud in the background, but thank you for coming and participating. All right, back to Debbie. So yeah, I'm wondering if there's a way to spin it into working with the parents. And I don't know if that's something you want to do. Parents have their own phobias and pain around money. Maybe it could be more of a family program. Because I find, and I'm sure you've seen this, if I don't know exactly what your background is, are you in the theater, are you in the money, or are you in the both of it? But, you know, we pass down money issues to our kids, right? We've gotten it from our parents, and we pass along these money stories. So maybe it could be more of a family program of getting over your own money stories. And I don't know, because I don't know your work other than what you just said here. And there's a piece in there where you use that piece. You know, maybe that's like a bonus module is to how to teach the kids. Like that piece is there, but it's really about money stories and getting over that. I don't know. Oh, I am the CPA. Okay, great. The main thing I have heard over 20 years that parents wish they knew more about money so they could help their kids. Okay, great. So maybe creating a family program, but it's really geared, you know, you got to go by who's paying, and the parents are paying. The kids are not paying. So the parents are paying. So what do they really need to know? What are they wanting to know? You know, is it money stories? If it's not money stories, and I maybe took that wrong. If you're not talking about like money mindset, we got to go get Liz. Liz maybe need to collaborate on the money stories. But if it's more about how to be effective with your money, then create that. You know, what are they asking for? If that's what they wish they knew more about money, then those are the challenges. And then maybe have that piece for the family where they can say, how do I get started with the child? Do we have allowance? Do we have, you know, investing as a young, you know, savings accounts, whatever. I'm like the farthest thing from a CPA imaginable. So maybe it can be more of a parent's helping themselves and then helping the children. I like that idea. And if really the bottom line is the parents have the phobias, though they could be drawn in, marketing and doing these little theater groups about the kids, but on the back end, it's selling your course that helps families. It could just be how to have a healthy, wealthy family. I mean, that's terrible, but something like that, you know, healthy money family or something, because it affects everyone in the family. You know, the money situation affects the kids as well as the parents. Yeah, Dominique says, Debbie, I think empowering the parents is practical. Yeah, and if that's really what it is, it's not to say you can't have some little things off here to help kids, but the bottom line is the parents need it, so go there. And then you can have some bonus things maybe within that course about the kids, if you're like, that's really fun and really parents love that and they're attracted to that. That's a great way to get them in and then sell them the course on the back end. Great. And we do this here. We're going to show you how to do all of these things for your family and help your child get started saving or whatever. Sorry, I don't know anything about that. So, okay, great. Woo, I got to check the time here. All right, so here's what I want you to do next. And you can do this. I don't know if we'll have time to do it, but I want you guys, this is a homework. And it's on the next page called Exercise Go Ask. This is your time, because though we've been going through all these things and what we think we're going to go through here is, Debbie said that is our approach, empowering the parents to guide their child while they learn too. Okay, maybe though you might want to, I mean, I don't know, if it's not selling, then you might want to think about tweaking it to help themselves and then include the child as well. I want you guys to go ask. This is the biggest thing that you need to do right now, because we can sit here all day and go, well, we think that they want this and we think that they want that, but we need to know. So if you already have people in your group, on your list, on an email list, on a Facebook group, if you're already in business, then this is easier to do, because you can put out a survey and ask them what their greatest challenges is with money. Liz, like, hey, what is the biggest challenge you have when it comes to money in your business? You know, I don't have enough of it. I struggle to get it. I have to work so long and hard. I don't like to have to, whatever, you know, they'll come back and come up with a survey. You can use SurveyMonkey. I find it's the easiest way. Do 3 to 5 questions, no more. You want it to be really simple, something they can do in 2 minutes. Because people are busy. You can send it to them through Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, wherever you are on these days, and come up. So even if you don't have your own list, go to a Facebook group, go to LinkedIn, go to your friends on, you know, if you have some friends on Facebook, that could be your ideal clients. If you have moms or parents, you've probably got the gamut. Like if anybody has had issues with bullying, I would love if you could take this 2-minute survey. What are your greatest challenges and fears with your child being bullied, or however you want to word it? Get their feedback. They'll tell you right up front. If it comes to money, if you've got parents, which you do, you know, on your Facebook is the best place if you're pretty active and have some users. When it comes to money, you know, what are your biggest challenges in your family or something? And then, and ask a couple questions that relates back to what we just talked about, your topic, and hear what they have to say. They may come up with something that you're like, oh, I'm like a little bit off the mark here. They're all saying they want this. If only they knew how to better invest, or I have no idea, I'm just making something up. You know, but if they all come back with what you thought, then you're like, great, I'm right on the money. So especially for you, Debbie, that is kind of like, I'm not exactly sure. And you can even ask, would you pay for some training or a course to help you with this, and see what they say. You know, that could be one of your questions, because if they love it, but they're not willing to pay for it, then we've got to look at it and we've got to change directions a little bit. So this is a time to go out and ask. I don't think we're going to have time to do it, but this is like so important. No matter what you think, you're going to be surprised to some degree. And I'm working with a client right now, and we were like going through her course, and she hadn't have a lot of people respond to her survey. And then after like our 3rd week, she's like, oh my gosh, I got a whole bunch of people coming back. She was helping people, she's working in corporate, create presentations. Like they're getting afraid, or they have to get up and create a presentation. And her whole thing was about creating the presentation and how to make an engaging presentation. Well, what they really were afraid of is they were afraid of getting up and doing it, like the actual presenting part. And she was working more on the creating part. So we had to switch gears. So she was so sure this is what it was. We started doing it. And when the surveys came in, she's like, wait a minute, they're all scared and they're afraid they're going to mess up, and they want to get the audience engaged, and it's not about creating or designing it. It's about presenting it. So we had to, even though she still kept some of the other stuff, we just tweaked it a little bit. So this is what I mean. It's really important to get feedback from as many people who you think are your ideal students. I don't want you to ask your mom or your sister or your brother if they have nothing to do with this, but we want to find people who could be your ideal clients. So try to find where they're hanging out. You know, a lot of you have parents and things, which is great. And Liz, entrepreneurs, I know you're probably already in some groups where you can ask some questions. Get that feedback and keep your answers. Write them down so that you can use their words. You might use the word finances, and they might use the word, you know, money a lot or whatever. They just talk about their monthly income or something, you know, and you might say monthly finances. You want to use their exact words, because when you start to market your course, you want to speak their language, and you want them to know, oh, she totally gets what I'm saying. She totally is you know, in my head, and she understands where I'm coming from. She's using the same words that I would use. So yeah. All right, let's see here. No list yet, just starting out. So where would I send the survey? Yeah, so Facebook, you know, is a great place that you can say, you just get the link from SurveyMonkey, and you can just say, hey, any parents out there who have you know, had issues with bullying, I would love if you just take 2 minutes. And if you know anyone else, please send them the link. So, you know, and I don't want you to go, oh, I got 2 results, so here it is. Like, try to get 10 to 20. You know, if one person says this, that's not enough. You know, we want to get the majority, so as many as you can get. Even if you get 10 solid ones and they all say the same thing, like, good. If you can get 20, better. You know, try to go, and you might always get someone who just says something that's kind of not out there, but you know, not everyone will say the exact same thing, but we want to, as much as possible, you know, keep it so that we get the majority, and that you're going toward the majority of your market. Okay. Okay. Woo. All right, so the last page on your worksheets is all about adding your course into your revenue plan. And this is really the fun part. So if you want to look at 2018 and your revenue goals, so you can just write down, what is your monthly goal from your online course? Now, I know we haven't talked about price, or we haven't talked about anything, but just if you're like, if I could just make an extra $2,000 a month from my courses, that would really be great to get started. You know, maybe it's 5,000, maybe it's 1,000, whatever it is for you. It doesn't matter, you know, exactly what it is. No, there's not a right or wrong answer, but just what could be your goal? Like, say, in the next 90 days, if you could just start bringing in this every month, would that make a difference? You know, I want you to put that down. Don't just put $200. I want it to be something significant. So take a look and you say, okay, great. So I'm going to start with $2,000. And then look below. I have 2 examples of course types. And again, this is totally just examples. This does not mean that you have to charge $97 or $297 or anything on there. These are just examples of prices. So say you have a mini course that you just want to talk about, you know, how to get started playing ukulele, just using Liz as an example. So it's just a little mini course that's just going to give some real, you know, things. And that might be like a $97 course. And then Liz's abundance program for entrepreneurs to start creating a lot more in their business and really upscaling from, you know, are they stuck making $5,000 a month and want to go to $10,000 a month? Then that could be, you know, the $997, because it'll be well worth the price for an entrepreneur to start doubling their income. It'll be worth $1,000 to start doubling their income every month. So you can take 1 or 2 examples depending on where you might think you might fall on your course. And again, it's just a sort of a guesstimate at this point because we haven't gone through, you know, all of the rest of the formulas. But you can take a look and say, if you have $2,000 as your monthly goal and you're going to choose a $497 course, which is a very, you know, kind of middle of the road course price, then you can see how many you need to sell. So you need to sell 4 a month at $500 or $497 to get to $2,000. So you can fill in the blank. So you can put your money goal divided by your course price and see how many you sell. And the whole point to this is so that you know you don't have to sell thousands of courses every month to get to your goal. Now, if you have a $97 course and you want to make $2,000, well, obviously you've got to sell 20 courses. You've got to sell a little bit more, the lower the price. But that's one reason why I wanted you guys to take a look at the value of what you're offering. You don't have to undercharge your, for what you're doing, because it's your work and you're making a big difference in people's lives. So this is just a fun part to look. And then I have another example here. See my example of how your year could play out. So let's say in February, you launched your product and you made $10,000. And then what I find from a lot of my launches is, and this is if you do take private clients, is that many of the ones who come through my course also want to work with me on the back end and go deeper. So especially like with mindset, maybe with money mindset or with the money CPA, you're giving them this, but there's also a whole bunch more that you could teach them. And so they want you to help them in a bigger way. So you may get 3 private clients out of it. So this is just total examples here, of course. And then you could rinse and repeat. May you do the same thing, you do another product launch, you make $10,000 and you get 3 new clients out of it, and the same in August. So this is just an example of launching once a quarter. If you want to just do a one-time launch and launch it once a quarter, there's many ways to do your course. You can have an evergreen where it's launching all the time in the background, once a year, once a quarter, once a month. There's no right or wrong here. It's just a matter of how you want to set things up. Okay, how long are each of these typically? How many modules, length of time? It doesn't have anything to do with that, Liz. It's more about the transformation and the outcome that you're getting. And if it's your whole process, so like that trademark or signature blueprint, you're giving them the whole piece, if you will, like your whole thing, versus the mini course that might be just the first step to kind of get started, if that makes sense. So it really doesn't matter how many courses, because within the mini course, I could have 10 little modules. So it makes no difference. It's more about what they're learning and how that fits in the process. So like I said, with my course, if I did an entire big thing, it would have to be like a 6-month course on how to create, launch, market, set up as an evergreen course. That's my entire thing. I can teach you everything. But that's going to be a whole long thing versus just let's create the course. That's like the first piece. And then the second piece is like, okay, now we're going to launch and launch and launch and learn how to launch the course, if that makes sense. So I don't have an answer, again, with exactly, it just depends on what you're bringing. And also what the market, as far as pricing, what the market will bear. Anything that is making you money, you can charge a little bit more. Anything that's making a huge transformation, I think you could charge a little bit more rather than, cutting your rose bushes or something. It might be a little bit on the lower side because it's exciting and important, but, in the grand scheme of things, bullying, like parents are like, what is it worth to get that fixed for them? Probably everything, because they're not sleeping. Maybe they're stressed to the max. They're sick to their stomachs. It's messing up their work and their home life. Their kids are crying. I don't know. I'm just kind of giving out some, things that I think it might be. So it's worth everything to get that fixed so that their child can grow up, and be happy and confident or whatever, and that their family is kind of put back together or whatever, if that's a thing. So, it's more looking at the outcome and the transformation that you're providing. Versus if it's only 3 modules or something, then I can only charge this much. So it's kind of like that hours for dollars, like get out of thinking of that and more thinking about the transformation of what people taking your course, what is it worth to them when they take your course? What are they really getting out of it? And how much is that going to be worth to them in their lifetime? It's not just, it's only 3 modules, so I can only charge $100. But if it's 3 modules that teaches them how to make $10,000, what is that worth? One time, and they can keep doing it over and over and over. What is it worth to them? Right? So yeah. Okay. I've got some more slides. As we're going to go into some benefits here, please, you guys put in some more questions. I know we've kind of gone through a lot here, but I hope you see the takeaways here is asking and really getting clear on your outcome and how you can help your clients right where they are versus where you think they might be, so that we never want to create a course in a vacuum. We want to really get out there and ask as much as possible where we're going. So let me go through this. We already did this. Okay, yeah, so we're going to kind of talk about, again, about the benefits. We talked about the benefits of an online course. Really giving you that passive, recurring, consistent income, impacting more people, letting you travel, right? Creating time freedom, helping build your tribe and your community and your list. It's a great introduction into your work. So say people can't afford to work with you or aren't ready to work with you one-to-one, having a course is like another option that they can take to get started and go, oh, I'm going to get to know Liz and her abundance. And then after they get to know you through your course, they might be like, oh, I love Liz. I love the way she's teaching. I need her to help me more, like I was saying. So it's sort of it's another, I don't want to say downsell, but it is sort of if you're working with private clients and they're not ready to work with you one-to-one, you've got something else and say, okay, great. They already like me because they're here talking with me. Maybe the course is what they need to get started. It's also extra value for your clients. So I have many clients who just give this course to only their private clients. So it's like an extra value added. They're not out there selling their course on their website, but it's included in their high-end package because it's just added value, and it saves them from having to go through the same stuff over and over and over again. It's like, I don't have to keep repeating the basics. They can watch my videos, and then when we hop on the phone for our sessions, we get down to the nitty-gritty, and it saves us all a lot of time. And yeah, it maybe gives you that I don't have to take 10 clients. I can only work with 6 clients now. And my passive income's coming in from my course. So it gives me that leverage. So this is Stephanie. She was in my one-day workshop last year when we had our workshop in Charleston. And basically we did the same workshop. We did a little bit more because it was an all-day workshop, but we basically did a lot of what we just did, and we went and got her outline, and we created the foundation of her course. And she basically turned around, and in 3 days, she enrolled 10 people at $500 and made $5,000. So 4 days, I said 3 days, 4 days. She had already a little bit of a group in her Facebook group or whatever, and people were just waiting for her to create this. So we had our workshop on Monday. By Thursday, she had sold it out, and she started her class the following Monday. So like right after we left, she had it all ready to go, and boom. All she did was post on Facebook, said, I'm looking for 10 people, and here's what's going to be in the course, and boom. She made $5,000. So, and now she's got it all as a course. She created it as she went through. I think it was like a 6 or 8 week course. And now she can rinse and repeat anytime she wants. So I don't know what you are hoping a course will do for you. I've been taking some questions, so I'm going to do that. So if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. So that's from Warren Buffett, not from me. So really, it's a great passive income is great to have. I mean, there's so many times that I have worked, over the years. I've taken vacations. Last summer, I took most of the whole summer off because my kids are like in their teens and I wanted to spend time with them. I was gone to England for 2 weeks, and I still hit my money goals because I was able to take, the time away to say, okay, great. I'm going to take these couple months, and all I'm going to do is sell my programs, my courses, and I'm not actively, coaching or whatever. And you just set your business up that way. If you're looking for the time freedom, it can be there. If you're looking for extra income to supplement what you're already doing, that could, there's just win-win-win, in my opinion, for an online course. Okay, I need to do the stop video, but I guess I'm still talking here. Okay, great. All right, there's more quotes about passive income. Your life will change once you make passive income part of your life. Here's my motto: work less, make more. It's simple and to the point. That's the way I am. That's the way I teach. So next steps. So this is a really big part of my first step. The rest of the steps that go with this, we talked a lot about validating your course idea. That's what we've been going on here. There's more to it with, working with your ideal student and then working deeper into this. Step 2 is organizing your course, all the logistics about modules and videos and how long should it be. Step 3 is your outline, like the actual, what am I going to teach in the modules and what kind of exercises and all of that. Step 4 is like, where am I going to house my course? How I'm going to deliver the course. Step 5 is designing the beta course group. And 6 is to fill and market your beta group. So who is ready to make money with their idea? You've got it here. It's ready to go. It doesn't take a lot of time to do this. The way I teach it, it doesn't have to take months. It's not like writing a book where you sit down and just create the whole thing. I'm more like, let's make money while we do this. And oh yeah, you already kind of know my story a little. If you don't know my story, I'm going to give you a really quick version of my story. Here I am when I was just starting to homeschool my girls. I was homeschooling, but I started my own business. My business was going very slow, just sort of making a little bit here, a little bit there. I would reinvest it. Again, it was a very, very small, second income, but it was fun money and that was all fine. For what we were doing, my husband was out there, making the money and I was just sort of like having some extras on the side. But when the recession hit, my husband's been in the building industry for like 30 years. He got laid off. And there was there was nothing in sight. And it really took him years now before he got back into the business in a decent job. So at the time we were like, okay, we've got a 401k, we've got some savings, and that was okay for a little while, but it was, quickly being drained. And we started falling further and further behind on our bills, especially our mortgage, because it was just a large amount and we just couldn't pay everything. So we stopped paying the mortgage, which I know is not a good thing, but we just couldn't. We had to eat. And basically I knew we had to do something because when a man pulled up in the driveway and started taking pictures of our house, I knew that my mortgage company was about to start foreclosure proceedings. And I didn't know what to do. I was homeschooling. I couldn't go get a job. There were no jobs, even if I could find a job. And we live in a very touristy area where there's like restaurants and hotels and there's just nothing. And we had to do something quick. So basically I borrowed the money from a very close friend to take a course on how to create courses, basically on how to create a teleseminar series. And it was $1,000. I remember it felt like $1 million at the time, but I said, I don't know what else to do. And so I was kind of all in. And I just was like, if this doesn't work, not only am we gonna lose the house, I'm gonna lose this friend, because we're not gonna be able to pay her back. But basically, I created an online course. I started it like weeks into what I was learning because we were on such a deadline. And my first launch earned $7,455. So, I mean, it's not a tremendous amount of money, but for us, it might as well have been $1 million because it saved our house. I mean, it saved our house. And, where else could I, just a few weeks earn that much money? And I had a very small list at the time. I think about 1,000 people on my list, my homeschool list. This was a homeschool program. So it wasn't anything huge. It wasn't about making money. And 3 months later, I relaunched the same course and I earned, over $8,000. So what I learned is that once you have a system in place, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So I created consistent recurring revenue and I learned I could generate money when I needed it. If we wanted to go on a trip, I had taxes due. One time we had a washer and dryer. Our washer and dryer broke in the same week and I had a washer and dryer sale on my courses. So it was really fun. And I could just create a couple $1,000. I'm like, oh, I just need some, extra cash in the next day or two. Online programs really changed my business and changed our life because without it, I don't know where we'd be. We certainly would not be in this house. And I'm not sure where my kids would be because I homeschooled them, and I didn't want to have to put them in school. So how could a course impact your business and your life? So imagine if you could make money in your sleep, and believe me, it happens to me every week. I get these emails, somebody bought something who lives in Australia and while I was asleep, you know? Or I've done this when I've been on a cruise with my mom and had a big sale and made money while I was on vacation. We're just out to dinner. Imagine if you could spread your mission and impact clients here in your community and all over the world. And what if you could turn this into a living, breathing course with successful launches over and over? And that's really what I want for you. I want you to have that business asset that you can take, and it becomes this asset that you have, and it's sellable and marketable, and you could use it anytime, however you want. So I really want to help you get there. So I have an amazing program that I've created called Leverage Your Brilliance, and it's a blended program, and it really combines teaching modules and live me, because I find that's the best way for people to get through this content. So this is an exclusive coaching program designed to take your book or your content or your knowledge as a coach and really create an income generating online course in 8 weeks. So only 8 weeks. And we can repurpose what you're doing into a sellable business asset. I've got to get this thing out of the way because it's in the water. Sorry, this thing is covering what I'm doing. Define the best transformational training for your clients. Like, you want to bring your clients the best training that you think, and this is what we're doing right now, like what we did today, not just creating a course, but a course they want and they need and what they're asking for. Learn how to get your students stellar results, hone your teaching process to teach one-to-many, and learn how to fill and market your course. Plus, you will create an additional income source so you can work smarter, have that downsell for clients that are not ready to work one-to-one, design a solid sell from the back of the room. Those of you who are authors or speaking, you know, have something that's more than $15 to sell at the back of the room and reach more people while working less. So here's really what you get in this Leverage Your Brilliance content to course 8-week coaching program. My complete 6-step system, which I briefly went through, to create and launch your beta course. So it's 8 weekly training videos, video trainings that you'll get, one each week, including workbooks, templates. I'm really big on, you know, exercises sheets like we did today, so that it'll really keep you focused and accountable. 8 weekly support calls. So 1 call a week, we're gonna get on the phone together, and I'm gonna lead you step by step through the training materials. You'll get to hear what other people are doing so that you're like, oh, that sounds great, I'll do that too. You know, sometimes we learn so much by listening to, just like today, by listening to each other, we get ideas for our own business, and it's really valuable to have that. So I will lead you through the feedback. Everyone is going to get time with me. I'm keeping it a very intimate group, only taking 6 people, because I want to be able to help each and every person with personal time on our group calls. You get the tech toolkit that helps you, videos to show you how to do the techie stuff to get your course up and running, how to edit an audio, how to do Canva graphics, how to set up your stuff in your, in your portal. Any techie issues, I cover all little videos showing you how to do that. And you get some bonus trainings. I brought in some experts who are really good at what they do, and I interviewed them. Topics like video, how to do webinars, money mindset, and more to make sure that your course is a success. So you don't need these things, but they're there for you as bonuses to kind of add to and just make your course even better. We have a beautiful portal that you can log into. You get lifetime access. And I'm always adding and upgrading, as you'll see probably in your own course. There's always new content. Things change. And so I'm adding things, the online world and tech changes. So I'm also always updating when it needs to be updated, and I'll be doing that. And if you are in it, you'll get the updates for years. If I add something new, you'll get access to it. So this is where your videos and your materials, the support calls will all be housed. It'll be one place for you to log in and get all of your training materials. And basically, here's just a quick look over what we're going to be talking about. These are really my 6 steps. Your profitable course topic, we dug into that some today. We're going to go through it a lot deeper. We'll talk about, what your tribe will pay for. We'll really talk about your ideal student and how you can define your course outcome to create raving and satisfied clients, and make sure you don't overwhelm them. Step 2 is your course format. We really dig into the logistics, how to price your course. We talked a little tiny bit about that. Decide on the best format, how long, audio, how many modules, video, what is the best course type for you and your business based on what you're, where you are right now. And how to create a rockin' course title that grabs attention and will really have your course selling like hotcakes. Step 3 is your outline. This is really important. It's the foundation of your course. I give you simple exercises to keep you on track with it. We define your system, and I give you some fun exercises to get it out of your brain and into your course, how to chunk the creation outline so you don't feel overwhelmed and we get it done quickly, how to design the worksheets and templates and support materials for your students, and my time saver method of course creation to keep you on track and get your program done quicker. Step 4 is all about your online portal and how you're going to deliver your course. Where are you going to put this course so that people can come? How do they pay? So we talk all about that. Automate the buy delivery process, your options for course delivery. There are many ways and many places, and more pop up all the time out there. Where should I put this? On Teachable? Do it on my own website? Where to do it. So I go through all that. And then I help you set up like a mock setup of your platform and, how to avoid the mistakes that I've made in the past and when you may need to get some help. I have some resources. If you're like, I just can't do this, I need someone to help me, I have some resources for that. Step 5 is the fun part. Make the money, fill your course. So let me show you the quickest way to do this. A simple, doable plan to test and tweak while you earn. We start filling the course on week 5. That means you're gonna start earning money on week 5. This is when we start to market for your beta test, and you're gonna get out there and start, getting money back and start knowing that your course is validated and that people will pay for it. So you'll learn 2 simple ways to enroll students today, even if your course begins in a few weeks, how to run the beta group to get the best course ever. Step 6 is supporting your students. Once you get them in the class, you might be like, yay, they're bought, but it doesn't end there, because if you just have a whole bunch of people that get into your course but never get through your course, that's not gonna help. You want them to get to the finish line, so it's your job to be the cheerleader, and this is all helping them stick to it, keep them accountable, and for you to get feedback and testimonials so that you can make your course even better. That's why we do a live beta and help them decide the next step as they're going through. So this is a lot, but I'm trying to rush through this here. You'll also get my bonus mini course, Choose Your Course Idea, which is basically most of the things we've gone over here. There's a little bit more, but you get that bonus course if you want to go back and listen to it, and it's in little modules. You can go through and get that, and you can use that if you want to create another course down the line. You can always go back and do that. So basically, to recap, you get my step-by-step system to create your profitable online course from your content. You get 8 weekly training lessons, videos, worksheets. They'll come out every Monday. You'll get that. Then we're gonna meet 8 weeks. You get support calls. We meet once a week on our group call, where I'm gonna have time with each and every one of you to go through where you are and give you feedback and help you tweak everything so that it's as stellar as it can be. You'll get marketing ideas to fill your course, including a mini sales page template that I have, a course timeline. You get the bonus mini course, you get the tech toolkit, and the bonus expert trainings. The bottom line here is you're gonna get a reusable business asset that you can earn income on repeatedly, an additional income stream of recurring leverage passive income, and a time-saving product for time freedom so you can travel and live your best life, and really a vehicle to reach and impact your clients, an unlimited number of clients, which I know that you guys are interested in doing. You're really here to you're making some money for yourself and support yourself, but you're here to make a difference in the world. So Leverage Your Brilliance is for high-achieving, dedicated entrepreneurs and authors who are 100% ready to leverage their content and really create this in their business now. And for that reason, and because I'm only taking 6 people in this group, this program is by application only. So if you're interested, you can apply now just by, there's the link right there, donna-ashton.com/apply. What happens after you apply is your application will be reviewed, and if it looks good and looks like we're a fit, then we'll have a 50-minute strategy session so I can kind of see if this is going to be the right program for you. And I want to make sure we have the right people, in the group, since it is small, And yeah, basically that's it. So we're going to get started in just a few weeks. I just want to make sure we get, I want to get my 6 people, so we're going to get going. But you can go ahead if you're interested. I will tell you that this is going to be my only time to do a beta launch for my group. So one, it's going to be less than I'll ever sell it for again. Normally, the program that I do for my private folks is about $3,500 for the same content. Shh, don't tell them. For basically the same content that you're going to get in this 8-week program, and it's going to be a lot less than that, I will just say. So if you're interested, please apply. I would love to walk you through it. And this is, again, going to be my beta test for my group. After this, I'm just going to keep enrolling people, and the price will go up. But I'm looking for these first 6 that I could go through and get some feedback on how the group works together. So I'm going to, I am just teaching you exactly what I'm modeling, and I'm going to teach you this exact thing in the course. So basically, that's it. I hope this helped you kind of, get through those first parts of deciding whether, what course topic you're going to do. And I hope you can envision here what your life will look like when you're ready to do this. If this is something you've been thinking about doing for a while and you keep putting it off, I mean, 8 weeks you can be, and really less than that, you can start earning money from this on week 5. So in 5 short weeks, we can get you earning money and making back your investment and then some very easily. And then once you have that course, you're good. I mean, what would your life look like when you have this? Maybe you can take less clients. Maybe you can travel and still sell your course while you are, laying on the beach drinking margaritas, right? So here's Bryna. She was did work with me like a little over a year ago, and basically made $6,000 from her launch. And I know she relaunched it. She was pregnant at the time and wanted to get this up and running. And then she launched in January and then relaunched in the fall and did even better. The same course, just relaunched it because she had just had a baby who was like 2 months old, but she wanted to keep that income coming in. So again, it can be used in so many ways. So some people want it to happen. Some people wish it would happen, and others make it happen. You guys, I want you to make it happen. I'm going to help you every way I can, walk you right through every single step and get you earning money. I'm trying to make it as easy and painless as possible here. Not only are you going to create a course, but you're going to create a profitable course. You're going to be making money, and then you can take it and do with it what you want. You'll have that business asset ready to go. So if you're interested, you go ahead and apply. I've got some times set up this week. I'd love to get you guys in. If you're not sure, but you think it might be for you, there's no, pressure. And if it's not right, that's fine. But if you think it might be for you, I'd love to talk with you. You guys already have some really great ideas, and I'd love to help flesh out your course and get it up and going for you. Sometimes you just need that accountability and say, this is my time. I'm ready to do it. I want to make my $2,000 a month or my $5,000 a month. And the only way I'm going to do it is if I have somebody to help keep me on track and really make a stellar course, a profitable course, and not just any old course, but one that really people people want to buy and that people will just, flock to. You want sellout courses and not just one that's like ho-hum. So anyway, all right, let me pop back over here and see if we had any other questions. Here we go here, blah, 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 blah. If anybody has questions, let's see. Would it be feasible to do 2 courses at once? I think so. Liz, because especially if you've got that one that's a smaller thing, you could probably do, the work, if you don't mind, kind of doubling up and doing it together and doing both courses. Thank you, Dominique. Great. Let's see. How long are each of these typically 9 modules like them? I think that was from earlier when you were asking about that. So yeah, we could talk about it a little bit more. If you don't want to do them together, like if you decide I want to just get the abundance course up and running, you can do that, and then you can just go back and redo it. You already have access to the modules. Anytime you want to create another course, it seems like a lot of times we have more than one course in us. A lot of times you'll find you've got that first piece, and then there might be a second piece that people start asking for. So you can just rewatch everything and kind of go through the same you know, process. But if you want to try to do it together, yeah, I don't see why not. If you're up for it, I am for sure. So, so it starts on a specific date. Yeah, I don't have, I know that sounds kind of like, I just want to make sure I have everybody. So I really want to start it soon. So I don't have a specific date, but I guess I should be. So let me give you a specific date. Let's just say it's going to start on April 30th. That way I'll say, good, I'm going to get my people. I just want to make sure I have it filled. But we'll go ahead and start April 30th regardless. And we'll knock it out. So and in the meantime, if you want to go ahead and get enrolled, I can start, you know, getting you into the portal, and you'll have some of the bonuses and things in there ready to go. And you can work on what we already started here, which is really step 1, but there's more to it, but you can kind of start digging in. So April 30th, it begins. Thank you for that. And yeah. We're gonna rock and roll. Is there a group dynamic Facebook group calls? Yes, we're gonna have a weekly group call so that we'll all get together, the 6 of us, the 6 of you, and you'll get a weekly module that'll just be dripped down to you. So each week you're gonna get a new module. You've got 8 modules, and we're gonna have a weekly call. I'll probably do a Facebook group if you guys want it, so that we can keep talking and keep this energy going. Yes, I love Facebook groups. So we'll do a Facebook group. And then I'll just keep adding people to the group. I like to leave it as a perpetual group, so you'll stay in the group. You don't like, I'm not going to boot you out after 8 weeks. You could stay in if you want. And then anybody who comes in after that will just kind of be adding to the group. But you guys are going to get the most. That's the way it goes when you do these beta groups. I'll give you the most because you're going to get me live, and you're going to get that. It's not that I don't know how to teach it. This will be the first time I'm teaching it as in a group setting. So I usually will, and this is what I recommend to you guys too, teaching it at a little bit lower price, giving a price break in lieu of asking for feedback and knowing that everything might not be absolutely perfect, but I'm going to try to make it as good as you can because I've been doing this for a while and it's pretty polished. So so a group call plus an individual call. No, there are no individual calls. It's just 1 call a week, a group call. But on the individual call, we will do, yes, I make sure I have time for each person. So whoever shows up on the group calls gets time with me. Yes. Group calls, yes. 1 group call a week and 1 training module. And then the Facebook group, I'll be over there answering questions in Facebook and helping as you go. Are the other experts information via video? I think they are videos and audios. I think I have a mix of video and audio, so they'll be right in there that you can listen to. And if the beauty of a live group is that anything I feel like I need to bring or add, I do, and I will bring it in. Like, oh, everybody's stuck over here, I'll bring something else in. Oh, we need to talk about this. Hey, let's do a live, you know, mock-up of me creating a course. You know, and you guys can do it along with me or something. We could do some fun things. So, yeah. Yeah. Talk to me about the price on the call. Yeah, but it's very affordable. I'm just going to say that, especially compared to what I've been doing for my my private work. So I'm trying to make this first go around as affordable as possible for people because it is a little bit of a test for me to see how I work all the bugs out. So that's why if you're like, okay, she doesn't have everything, but again, it's like, okay, I want to do this, and if you guys all want Facebook group, we'll do Facebook group. You know, I'm open because I'm listening to what you guys want, and so that's the way it's going to rock and roll. And we'll do it that way. Yes, you're ready to do it. Definitely, Liz. Yeah, let's just hop on the phone. We don't, you know, we'll just talk through exactly what you wanted to do and see if it's right for you. Anybody else is interested as well. We will see if it's right. Again, no pressure, and make it as doable as possible. And I'm as anxious as you guys to get you guys going. So let's do it. So yeah, go ahead and set up a time. I'm pretty open the rest of this week. So go ahead and hit that link, and I'll go ahead and put it in the chat. DonnaAshton.com/apply. All right, you guys. Oh my gosh, it's 2:30. I don't want to keep you guys any longer, but thanks for those who have stayed with me. Yes, it's a lot. Anyway, I try to not to do this, but I over deliver. So that's the way it runs. That's the way it rocks and rolls. But if you're interested and you want to get a lot of great content, that's the way to go. So, all right, I have to go because I have to go pick up my kids from school. So I will talk to you guys later. And any questions you have, you can email me at donna@donna-ashton.com. And if you want to apply, please do. I'd love to talk with you. If you're not sure if it's right for you, I will see. You may not be ready. And you may. So we'll just talk it out. And I'd love to have you in Leverage Your Brilliance 8-week program. Okay, you guys have a great day, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.